tonight on Ctv3 News. Belize Independence Day celebrations marred by tragedy in Orange Walk as a 23-year-old dies in Juvert's road accident. Bus driver arrested in Ladyville, fatal bicycle accident. Indian Creek community in Orange Walk hit by freak storm, and Key Cocker prepares to vote for or against the legalization of marijuana. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025.
Celebrate Belize's 44th independence anniversary with us. Join us this September as Belize shines brighter than ever.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Face FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Sunday, the 21st of September 2025, early morning celebrations for Belize's 44th independence was overshadowed by a tragic road traffic accident that claimed the life of a young man during the Juvert festivities. The incident took place around 5 a.m. on Liberty Avenue. When police arrived at the scene, they observed a black 2007 Kenworth T800 truck parked on the right side of the Sarstone Street facing west. Close to the truck's right rear trailer tire, human brain tissue was discovered, indicating the severity of the incident. Initial investigations revealed that around 4:30 a.m., Elias Kawa Jr., Belizean laborer of Blackwater area, Tral Farm Village in the Orange Walk district, was driving the truck north to south on Liberty Avenue, towing a trailer as part of the Juvert, when tragically 23-year-old Belizean laborer Axel Carrillo of San Lazaro Village, who was holding onto the right side of the trailer, lost his balance and fell beneath the vehicle's right rear tire. Carrillo was rushed to the Northern Regional Hospital, but despite medical efforts, he succumbed to his injuries. Assistant Commissioner of Police Gilberto Romero told the media today that the case will be sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions to determine whether Kawo will be charged.
On a trailer that had on information that till it was on a trailer that had on music when he fell, and the truck ran over him. The truck was being driven by Elias Kowo. An investigation is being carried out into this report. The file will be compiled and forwarded to the DPP. Then a determination will be made whether he will be charged.
The truck remains impounded pending further investigations. Of note is that while Carrillo is originally from San Lazaro, he lives in San Pedro. The Sugar City Juvert Juvie, who are the organizers, extended their condolences in a social media statement the same day of the incident. Instead, we extend our most sincere condolences to the family and friends of Axel Carrillo, the young man who passed away this morning during the Juvert. May God grant them strength during this difficult time. Cops are also investigating a fatal traffic accident that occurred in Ladyville. The victim, 38-year-old Gabriel Mai, was riding his bicycle on Mirage Road when he was hit by a bus being driven at the time by Philip Sutherland, a bus driver from Lord's Bank. Sutherland has been officially arrested and charged in connection with the tragic incident.
Investigation says Mai was riding his bicycle when he was struck by the bus. An investigation was carried out, and Philip Sutherland has been arrested and charged for drove motor vehicle without due care and attention, drove motor vehicle without manslaughter by negligence and causing death by careless conduct.
Have police taken a sample?
Yes, a urine sample was taken from him for analysis.
He is alleging from our reports that the deceased was drunk and swerved into his path. Can police speak on what you've learned from the investigation as to whether
The investigation is showing that yes, at some point this person was on his bicycle and he was struck by the bus. That is the information we have at this time.
from your understanding of the situation, was the deceased seen anywhere in the village drinking prior to the
Oh, he was prior to that inside a yard with other persons hanging out.
was he drinking?
The information we have is that yes, they were consuming alcoholic beverages at the yard.
Bus which Sutherland was operating without a license has been seized by authorities. Hattieville remains shaken as authorities persist in their efforts to uncover the circumstances behind a tragic double murder that unfolded last week. The peaceful community was thrown into turmoil on Monday, September 15th, when the lifeless bodies of 57-year-old twins, Paul and Paula Esquiliano, were discovered with gunshot wounds. As authorities continue to piece together the events leading up to the tragedy, they keep following all leads.
We are following several leads, but at this time nobody has been arrested and charged. The investigation to this double murder continues at this time.
Has anybody been proposed?
We have conducted several interviews, but so far no one has been charged.
According to family members, the Esquiliano siblings were well regarded in the community and had no known conflicts or enemies, deepening the mystery surrounding their deaths. A sudden and severe storm swept through the Indian Creek community early this morning, unleashing heavy winds and intense rainfall that left a trail of destruction in its wake. Residents reported that the storm struck unexpectedly, catching many off guard and causing significant damage to some structures and livestock. Witnesses described the storm as a freak weather event. Adding to the community's distress, we are told that lightning struck and severely injured several cattle. We understand that the Ministry of Agriculture has received pictures of the damages caused and will be visiting the community tomorrow to assess the situation. Coming up next, Belize launches MSME amnesty program to support business formalization and growth. Stay tuned.
The new designs for Belize's new banknotes have been revealed. But why are only two national figures featured on the banknotes? The individuals honored on our new banknotes have received Belize's highest distinction, the Order of the National Hero. As of January 2025, only two persons have been awarded this title. The Right Honorable George Cadle Price, regarded as the father of the nation, who was the first Prime Minister of Belize and renowned leader in our road to independence, and the Honorable Philip Stanley Wilberforce Golson, one of the longest-serving members of the House of Representatives, known for his unwavering stance on protecting and preserving Belize. By featuring these heroes, we honor their invaluable contributions to the development of our nation. New look, same value, heroes' legacy. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Looking for quality, tasty, and easy to prepare meals? Look no farther. M&M Frozen Foods, proudly distributed by United Distributors Limited, brings you a wide range of delicious frozen delights, perfect for every occasion. From frozen pizzas, quesadillas, garlic bread, jumbo samosa, cocktail samosas, pizza pockets, spring rolls, and happy noodles, M&M Frozen Foods is fresh, flavorful, and convenient for busy lifestyles. Whether you're planning a quick dinner, hosting a gathering, or stocking up for the week, M&M Frozen Foods has you covered. Available now at leading supermarkets and stores nationwide through United Distributors Limited. M&M Frozen Foods, extensive variety to satisfy every craving.
Abigail Tuttle O'Keefe, a 54-year-old former farm operator from Wrightstown, Pennsylvania, has been brought back to the United States from Belize to face a total of 149 criminal charges. This case is being described by authorities as the most extensive farm animal cruelty investigation in Buck County history, according to reports from the Belmopan Humane Society and NewtownPANow.com. O'Keefe was detained by U.S. Marshals in Belize last week after being arrested there on an unrelated firearms possession charge in April. She was flown to Pennsylvania on Saturday, where she was quickly brought before a judge for an initial arraignment. Among her charges are aggravated cruelty to animals resulting in severe injury or death, as well as neglect. The investigation into the farm's conditions was initiated in August 2024 after reports from concerned employees and volunteers highlighted the alarming state of Narrowway Farm on Worthington Mill Road. A warrant was issued for O'Keefe's arrest as authorities delved deeper into the farm's conditions, and she fled the country shortly before formal charges were filed. Authorities discovered that numerous animals on the property had suffered greatly, with some succumbing due to extreme malnutrition and neglect. Investigators uncovered a makeshift composting area filled with rotting animal carcasses. Many of the farm's animals, including chickens, goats, pigs, and sheep, were found to be in poor health, suffering from serious conditions such as heavy parasitic infestations. Following her initial avoidance of contact, O'Keefe surrendered her animals to the box. The Office of the Prime Minister, through the Investment Policy and Compliance Unit IPCU in the Ministry of Investment, in collaboration with the Belize Tax Service BTS, Beltrade, and the Economic Development Council EDC, has officially launched the Fiscal Incentive MSME Business Tax Amnesty Program. The initiative, as we had mentioned on Friday, is designed to complement existing programs that support the growth and development of micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, in Belize. The program provides eligible MSMEs with an opportunity to formalize their status with the BTS. Once registered, participating businesses will qualify for a one-year exemption from business tax beginning from the date of issue of the amnesty certificate. They will also be relieved of any accrued penalties or interest tied to past business tax obligations.
Okay, so morning. I think that this is a very good program for businesses, specifically the MSMEs and persons still operating in the informal sector. Why that is because it gives them an opportunity to regularize their businesses. And even for those that are already registered, it still gives them, or it incentivizes them to ensure that they have an opportunity to properly set up their business and to ensure that they also are prepared to meet their tax obligations. So under the fiscal incentive program, once they have sought approval and they get approval, the certificate that they get will have the specified year. If they get the approval today, it will have from September 22nd to next year, 2026 in September. For that period, they will not have to pay business tax, but they still are obligated to file a business tax return, right? But they will not pay, all right? If they are registered, because they have to meet the GST threshold, if they are registered for GST, they still are obligated to file and pay GST, because as a reminder, GST is a consumer tax, right? Now, I think what is important here for the Belize Tax Service is that these businesses, you have many small businesses that have been operating without registering with tax service. And I know that the issue that we face is that many people are scared because they say if they come in and register, we will back tax them. What we are saying to them now, working along with this program, the whole amnesty, if you come in today and register, but you have been operating 5 years, 10 years, and were not registered, we will register you with an effective date of today. We will not back tax you. Your date will be of today going forward. Now, this is not new because we've been trying our best to do this from last year.
Businesses that qualify as MSMEs and which are either not registered with the BTS or have only registered between 2023 and the present are eligible to apply for the program. Applications must be submitted on or before October 29, 2025.
And those are specific because at the end of the day, you're looking at assisting these businesses who have been operating in the informal sector. And as it clearly states, it's for small businesses, it's for entrepreneurs, it's for people who are really trying to make their business grow within our economic situation that we're facing right now. And so it's a means of assisting them to ensure that they have the ability to meet their obligations, not only for taxes, but across the different collaborating agencies.
Certain sectors, however, are excluded from participation. These include gaming and lotteries, real estate, large-scale import and retail operations, non-digital consultancy services, financial or money lending institutions, petroleum importers and retailers, real estate or goods rental, prohibited goods and services, and entertainment promotion services that do not involve local artists or entertainers. Director of the BTS, Michelle Longsworth, explains these exceptions.
Coming, I believe, starting the first week of October, we will be doing, the different agencies will be doing these pop-up shops around the country where all the collaborating agencies will be there. BCAR, BTS, and the investment sector, Beltrade. Why? Because when you go to those sessions that we'll be having, everything will be processed within that period. So you'll be able to register your company. If your company was, or your business was not registered, you'll be able to register online for your tax obligations, and then you'll be able to then apply for your fiscal incentive. Remember, you cannot apply for the fiscal incentive program if you have not registered your business with BCAR or if you don't have a TIN. So that is why we're coming together to ensure that the process is easier for the taxpayers or for all businesses to apply for it.
No.
Through this tax amnesty initiative, the government underscores its commitment to creating an enabling environment for Belizean MSMEs, helping them transition into the formal economy and access the tools and resources needed to thrive. The official campaign in support of the upcoming referendum on cannabis legalization in Key-Cocker officially began on Monday, September 22, 2025. The initiative, led by Councillor Ilya Rosado under the umbrella of the group Legalize It Key-Cocker, aims to provide accurate information, answer questions, and ensure that every voter on the island is well informed ahead of the historic October 8 vote. As part of the campaign, community volunteers will go door to door, engaging directly with residents about the facts, benefits, and regulations that would come with a responsible, legal cannabis industry. The campaign will also include street activations and public conferences where experts and local leaders will share their knowledge and address concerns.
Right now, we're still in the process of looking for these experts, and I have someone whom I met by chance here who is actually in the industry from another country where they had successfully implemented it, and they've done it for medicinal purposes. And I'm going to be seeking advice from these people and whoever else I can find with proper, credible scientific research. The size of my team for now, I mean, I really cannot say, because after I've done this, I really was pretty much mostly doing this by myself, along with I have now someone who will be joining me who.
According to Rosado, the campaign is about education, transparency, and empowerment, thus giving the community an opportunity to make their decision based on facts, not fear.
I honestly, at this point, we could go 50-50 in terms of what I can expect. And from my personal end, I never go into an election thinking that I will win. I will only try my best. But there's of course, the vocal no on Facebook and everything like that. But Facebook is not a real place. And I just came back from lunch here in Key-Cocker, and a few people stopped me and said that they are in support. A few other people who used to say hi to me did not say hi, so I guess they don't support. So, but this is a small community, and the way things are going, I'm still not sure what the outcome will be.
Will ask voters whether the government of Belize should pass legislation to create a responsible, regulated, and taxable cannabis industry, with a portion of the revenue going directly to benefit Key-Cocker and its residents. With the nation's red, white, and blue flying proudly in the air, Belizeans gathered in Belize City to mark the country's 44th anniversary of independence. Under this year's theme, Stronger Together, Rising Forever, Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño delivered a stirring address that celebrated the nation's journey while calling on citizens to unite in shaping the future. Paying tribute to Belize's forefathers and heroes, Prime Minister Briceño reflected on the sacrifices made to secure independence.
From successfully obtaining universal adult suffrage in 1954 to self-government in 1964, from the internalization of Belize's right to self-determination in international fora to the birth of our nation on the 21st September, we celebrate the realization of all that is special about Belize. Our mixed economic system, a constitution rooted in the fundamental rights and freedom of every Belizean. We believe in the supremacy of God and committed to protect our beautiful land. For sure, this journey started long before September 1981. Indeed, we're all here because of the courage of our founders, the Maya, Creole, Garifuna, East Indian, Mestizo, and all who are sustained by the spirit and sacrifice of every generation. Together we build and continue to build upon a young yet proud legacy of social, economic, and environmental justice.
The Prime Minister emphasized that Belize's progress is a shared responsibility, urging all Belizeans to recognize the role they play in advancing the country's development. He reminded the audience that the dreams of one generation become the foundation for the next, and that unity remains the key to moving forward.
The work is far from complete. Nation building is never complete. The legacy of one generation is the foundation upon which the next generation must build. In these ever-changing times, the one constant must be meaningful development. Therefore, we adjust and retrofit to changing realities on the march forward. How beautiful it is that on this day, thousands of our citizens will join with friends and loved ones at parades and parties across this country to rejoice in the blessings of this land and people. Belizeans of all backgrounds will unite in celebrating the optimism and expectation that as one people, we will work to build a better and brighter future. Yes, we are blessed with nature's abundant gifts. Yes, we are blessed by our diversity and the desire to live together in harmony, fully aware that our rich tapestry is what makes us truly special and truly Belizean. Yes, we are blessed to live among neighbors who, like us, desire to live in peace. So we must do all we can to protect these gifts for which we are endowed.
In her Independence Day address, opposition leader Honorable Tracy Panton delivered an impassioned address comparing at 44 years of sovereignty to adulthood, a stage she says is marked by both maturity and responsibility.
When our national priorities reflect the concerns and the real needs of the people. At 44, we have moved into our adult years. The ability as a nation to ask hard questions, to confront uncomfortable truths, to take accountability for who we are becoming and our place in the global community. Belize's story, which can be traced from the Maya grandeur to modern glory, has never been the work.
Sunday's national ceremonies held at the steps of the Supreme Building in Belize City saw the participation of a host of government leaders and dignitaries, including Belize City Mayor Bernard Wagner and Governor General Dame Froila Zalam. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
It is truly a proud and historic moment for us here in San Ignacio. It gives me great joy to welcome you all to the official opening of the very first wooden basketball court in our community.
The cost of the project in completion was about $200,000. Honorable Mala was willing to assist us with this project. This is a huge investment for us.
There can be serious development through sports, especially if the right foundation, having the right facilities are in place. Then the programs follow. We can't put the carriage front of the house by having the programs, but we only have outdoor facilities. Belize rain 6 months out of the year, and having outdoor facilities is just not enough.
Our focus is going to be on education because that's a part of using sports as a vehicle to get as many of our athletes to international schools to play football, basketball, volleyball, track, whatever it is. The other thing is health. 33% of our people are afflicted by diabetes, hypertension, or some ailment like that. And those things can be prevented. So we want to create again the facilities where people can go exercise, have fun.
Prime Minister Honorable John Brisenda departed Belize yesterday, September 22nd, 2025, en route to New York City, New York, USA, to attend the 88th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The Prime Minister returns to Belize on Saturday, September 27, 2025. During his absence, Honorable Cordell Hyde, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Natural Resources, Petroleum and Mining, will hold over as Prime Minister. The Ministry of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government announces that Belize has fulfilled its obligation under Article 19 of the Constitution of the International Labor Organization, ILO. This was achieved through the submission of international labor standards adopted by the International Labor Conference during the period 1990 to 2025 to the National Assembly. The submission, entitled Submission of International Labor Standards, adopted by the International Labor Conference at 24 sessions held between 1990 to 2025, was formally tabled before the House of Representatives on September 12, 2025, and before the Senate on September 15, 2025. This action covers 46 conventions, recommendations, and protocols, including the most recent instruments adopted at the 113th session of the International Labor Conference in June 2025. Convention number 192 and recommendation number 209 on biological hazards in the working environment. By completing this process, Belize reaffirms its commitment to advancing decent work and social justice through transparent governance and respect for its international obligations. The ministry extends appreciation to the National Assembly for its collaboration in fulfilling this important responsibility. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, September 24th here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.